boosted damage is coming for you, and all of these beasts are getting new Halloween treats, and we have Peony stuck in there. There's a lot of fun things to go over. We need to start with Nerthuz first, and I know a lot of you are Nerthuz fans. I get messages from you. I really am working on merch for Nerthuz, I promise. Let's look at this unit though. So she's coming in, she's smacking things, and she has more text than we can possibly look at in one setting. This is just nutty. Anytime we're about to do any sort of beast banner, I have to prep myself for the amount of stuff I have to sift through. So, Glee of the Land. Now this grants speed +3. At start of turn to allies within 3 rows and 3 columns. They get attack speed +5, preempt pulse, and potent follow-up, which is that's really good. Start of combat. In combat, you get 14 to all stats. You get true damage equals max special cooldown times 5. Flat DR equals max special cooldown times 3. Keep in mind, this unit didn't get slaying and is running Gale Force, which is a 5 cooldown special. So this is nice. True damage of 15, flat DR of 15. True damage of 25, flat DR of 15. Preempt pulse, potent follow-up, and you get healing based on the max cooldown, which was 5 on that one, times 3 after combat. And then you get the Beast Cav transformation shenanigans. This is good. This is good to work with, and it provides some nice support. We've seen all sorts of combining of units that go all together where there's supports and nukes and everything else. This follows that trend. Past that, we have Gale Force Mist, which is honestly, I really like this special. I wish it was cheaper. That is my only thing. I don't think it is worth getting a premium unit just for Gale Force Mist, but I like it a lot. Let's move on though. So, past that we have Attack Speed XL and Moonlit Slumber. Okay, so we have the easier transformation clause. We have the Aetheride's easier transformation clause. All these are good. And then at start of turn, if transformed, you get piercing equals 50%, which is nice. And that's to unit and allies within 2, and inflicts speed shackle and defense shackle on closest foes and foes within 2 of them. Now remember, as I keep on stating, that is start of turn. What you really would have wanted was mid-turn, but it's what we've got. In combat effects, you get inflicts attack speed defense -5. You get neutralizes follow-up effects, and then true damage equals 20% of speed. That's nice. And DR equals 20% of speed. That's flat DR. And then you get the reflective damage as well, which all of this is nice. This is the way you want to build a unit. This has a lot of fantastic things and all of the stuff we have looking for it. We're going to get to how this actually comes out in the damage analysis very shortly. There's one little thing I want to go over, and that is attack speed bellow. Now this is for melee calves only, and at start of turn, if unit is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack speed +6 and special cooldown charge +1 per attack, so special acceleration. And that is to unit and allies within 2 spaces of unit for 1 turn. Past that, you get more attack and speed and true damage. So specifically for units like this is really nice. You don't get as much boosted damage. Well, you don't get any boosted damage from Gale Force Mist, but you do get nice things out of attack speed bellow. So that's extra true damage there. Nerthuz has really always been about one thing, and that is miracle spamming. She's always been excellent at it. I think this unit will be as well. The thing I'm worried about is we are in a meta that is built to counter miracle because we have so much of it. And so whereas in the past she's been a bit more of a sleeper because no one expects the miracle build, I think that is going to be harder to pull off. That is not to say she's not usable though, and I want to go over just what it looks like from the damage analysis. So
But I'm begging you.
We have the stats that we saw in the trailer there. The flat DR is 56, and that's okay. True damage is 50, and that's okay. And boosted damage, keep in mind boosted damage is hard to calculate. This is what I normally put down for reflective damage, is around that 80 range. That is kind of an average of a lot of things. If she gets hit more, then obviously that's better. The problem you're going to run into is because there's so much Brave. Again, it's going to be harder to get that reflective damage off. We've seen that time and time again. I am the proud owner of a +10 Brave Sharena, so I know more than anyone about how much Brave hits take a toll on miracle effects. Still though, with an effective attack of 100, an effective speed of 89, this unit is definitely going to be usable. If we look at the tier list, I've got her in tier 2, but I want to remind you how good melee nukes are. The reason I don't have her above Erica, even though I do think she has better damage output, is because, again, Erica has special things. Now, do those special things go away if you sit Lyn, Mythic Lyn, next to this unit? Absolutely, but that is an additional step that has to be done. So I don't think this unit breaks into tier 1. I think this unit is solidly tier 2, and that means if Nerthuz is your favorite, I think you can absolutely use this unit and have fun with her. Next we have Peony, and I mean, this is one of my personal favorites, and she looks adorable in the little pumpkin outfit that she's got going. And she's helping out Sharena, so of course this is going to be one that I like. Spooky Lantern. I'm going to summarize this briefly right up front. This is a side grade to what you have with Plumeria. Harmonic, Plumeria in this unit have a lot of overlap, and they're going to be able to be used in a lot of the same cases. Back to this. You get start of turn Canto 1 to allies within 2 spaces. Really would have liked Canto 2. Canto 1 is okay. It's Canto 2, that extra space means a lot. So in combat support, if ally is within 3 rows, 3 columns, you get attack speed +5 to ally, neutralizes allies' penalties, true damage of +10, and restores 7 HP after combat. And then at start of combat to this unit, you get an Omni +14, true damage of +10, flat DR of 10, and full no follow-up. Let's go over the whole kit. So past that, we have Pleasant Night. So this is big. Grants another action to target ally. Re-enables Canto, which we love. Grants attack speed, defense plus +5, reflex, and empathy. Empathy, you get extra stats with. That's nice. Reflex is just it is the best way to get boosted damage on your units right now. The thing we just talked about is the thing that Reflex is weak to is Brave. So keep that in mind. Also, understand that it is difficult that you have to use a dance in order to get that. That is not a small deal, but it's still really good. That is excellent. And this is to target ally and allies in cardinal direction of that other ally. That's really good. So you're able to grant this at a distance as well. The problem with dancers, they have a lot of value they still have a lot of value in just about everything but summoner duels. Summoner duels, the value has just the way that mode works, it doesn't really like dancers. And there are some exceptions, absolutely. But just understand they are harder to use than someone like, in this case, you would compare this unit to someone like Ingrid, who can do a positional, get everyone closer to where you want to be, and also give out reflex. And also attack. Roll compression is a very, very big thing in that mode, and this unit, as a dancer, doesn't apply as much of that. Let's look at where I put this unit on a tier list. I need you to remember that support heroes are really, really good. So understand that. That being said, this is up at the top. I know this is going to be a little bit controversial. I do have Crom as the best support unit in the game right now. I think what he provides is just that good, but Sakura is still excellent. Don't get me wrong there. I also have Sharena up there. I have seen so many crazy shenanigans, and the way she gives extra actions is a lot of fun. Past that, we have the next tier, which we have Ingrid, who I might need to put her up just because Favor was so good to her. Favor on her is excellent. And then, of course, you have Tharja. And then we have tier 3. Again, the big thing is these other units, they provide their support while they're doing their job, whereas dancers have to do just that job. They have to dance. It's not something where, like with Ingrid, where you're positioning yourself, you get another action, and you're providing support. That is not to say these units are bad. Plumeria is one of my absolute favorites to use, and honestly, Peony is going to be right up there with her. If you are in a mode like Arena Assault, or if you can fit her into your Aether Raids teams, you're going to really love her. That's Aether Raid's offense. Aether Raid's defense follows a lot of the same rules as Summoner Duels, and that's really not a place you're going to be using her as much. So, really, really good. Going to have very niche places where you can use her, but I'm a big fan. I will be summoning for this unit. It has more to do with that being this unit being a favorite, though. If you already have Plumeria, it's going to be a tough sell to get this unit. But again, Reflex is very, very good. So just keep that in mind. And then we have Halloween Skirmer. Skirmer? I've tried to say that name like a couple times. I love the huge block of meat that he has there. So I'm not going to go over this a ton. This is your demote, and this is a good demote. Wily Fighter 4 is a good skill. Attack Defense Far Save is good fodder. What you have here is a unit that is usable if you invest a lot into him. So just understand that that is something that you can get out of this unit. You will probably want to run Shield Fighter. Shield Fighter is still the best way to get a unit to survive, and that is something that is hard to do. That is very, very hard to do. I do think you're going to want to stick with Far Save. I think right now the the melee nukes, because they include cam, are just too powerful. And so if you're using this unit, probably Far Save is the way you're going to want to use him. But again, I feel similar to the way I feel with Nerthuz, only this unit is a lot cheaper, so that the standards are lower. This is a very usable unit, and you can get a lot out of them. And I mean, let's look real quick. The sprite is phenomenal, because I mean, it's a lion with a Halloween basket collecting candy. That's amazing. I mean, for that alone, you get extra points there. But this is a good unit. This is not a unit that's going to just rock the meta, though. This unit's a little different, and I'm having a little trouble deciphering this one. And it's not whether they're good or not, it's how good they're going to be. What this unit does, let's get into it. Let's talk about this before we get into it. This is Freyja and Aether. And I love the combo. I really love Freyja's outfit. Like, they killed it with that sprite work, and the art looks fantastic. This is a colorless tome that is ranged, and we've got some new things here. Now, this works a little differently than the units we've been looking at, so understand that. Nightmare stuff. This has slaying. Start of turn, you grant dodge, and I normally really make fun of them giving dodge, but I like it on this one, and we're going to go over why. Inflicts on closest foes and foes within 2, speed res -7, sabotage, and miracle blocking. But again, this is start of turn. Understand that. The hope is that you have enough stuff that it doesn't get cleansed by anyone but Freyja. So that is a thing. I guess is that fitting that Freyja is the ultimate counter to Freyja? I will say I'm seeing less and less of Freyja. So that is a thing that's happening. Everyone is really trying to go hard on Hother, and she only cleanses 2 things. So it is very possible that you could get miracle blocking to stick, and miracle is still very prevalent, and I mean the most used near save in all the game on defense right now is absolutely Rhea, and Rhea is in a lot of different places, and drive miracle is excellent, and this stops that from happening, which is excellent. Let's move on though. because we have some interesting things with this unit. This unit is built in a different mold. So you get an Omni plus 14, bonus attack equal to max special cooldown times 4. And we're going to go over that special that is 5 cooldown, but of course gets slayed. So it's down to 4. We get a flat DR of 20% of this unit's speed. And if you win a speed check, you turn off the opponent's specials, which is, it's good on this unit. And we'll go over more how this unit works. This unit is interesting. Let's look at Comet, because this is upgraded, expensive Astra. When special triggers, boost damage dealt by 200%. A start of turn grants special cooldown count -1, so you have times pulse 3 built in. Reduces damage from foes' first attack by 40% during combat, and for effects that grants... Yeah, okay. So, Comet's really good. Honestly, like, as long as you have all of the other things needed, like piercing is what I'm really thinking about. As long as you have piercing, Comet is really, really good. The restrictions for that are anyone can use it that isn't a horse or a flyer. So all of your armors and all of your infantry can definitely use it. It's funny because we really would have liked that switched. You would have rather have it be Cav and Flyer because they're the ones that really love using specials like Comet, but that's neither here nor there. It's still very good. Past that, we have attack speed Aria, which combined with Comet is really nice because remember, attack speed Aria is based on the cooldown count, and you get 4 on that as opposed to the normally you're getting 2 or 3. Normally you're actually getting 2, but it's neither here nor there. Past that, we have a couple other things on this unit. Haunting Choker. Okay. And here's where things start to become more clear. So for foes within 3 rows and 3 columns during combat, so this is a supportive thing you're giving out, inflicts Omni -5, you get piercing of 50%, and if the foe has visible bonuses, you get Binding Necklace. You remember Binding Necklace was the bonus flipper? Like, basically it negated the bonuses and then gave the penalty that was that bonus. So if you had +7 on a stat, it was -7. Which in the current, as a drive, like as a B skill, Binding Necklace was terrible. As a drive, that's kind of good. I mean, that's very, very nice. Past that, you get start of combat if HP is greater than or equal to 25%. Inflicts speed res -X. And I see this and I'm like, wow, X is going to be some huge number. And X is 3. You're going to get this every single time. Like that is easily 3 every time. You get full no follow-up. You get %DR equal to X, which is 3 times 20. That's 60% %DR. We're getting into some high numbers there, especially when we're combining that with the special. We'll talk about what that number comes out to be, but that's very nice. And then we get a flat DR of 9, which I wanted more. I felt like this unit needed more, but yeah. And then you get healing of 7 HP after combat. We have new desk mats in the store. This is Ike, Lynn, and Corin. I love this concept art. Go check these out. These are very high quality. The link is above my head. Let's get back to the episode though. So this is very much in the mold of Julia and T Veronica and that kind of unit. If we flip over to the damage analysis, this is one of those units that isn't fully captured the way that I'm doing this, but I wanted to go over this. Flat DR of 27, which is decent. A true damage of 20, which is criminally low. And then a boosted damage of a very high number that's going to be over 104. I think on average, like on your average combat, you're probably going to get around 160 when that thing triggers. But that is me doing very back of the envelope calculations on a very dynamic special. But it's going to be high. And the other thing I want to point out is that 76% damage reduction is really high. So you've got debuffs, you've got 76% damage reduction, you've got special denial, and you got a lot of boosted damage. This unit is going to be bulkier than you think, and this unit has a lot of good support. What does that mean? Oh, also, effective attack of 121. That means a lot when we're talking about boosted damage. We're very, very used to at this point talking about true damage because it ignores all of that. This unit has high enough stats and high enough damage output where we start to kind of flip the script on that a bit. I have her under T. Veronica because T. Veronica's whole shenanigan where she can act again is very, very powerful. And T. Veronica is a proven unit. Whereas this still, we still have to test this one out and make sure that all of my assumptions work out. But I think this is going to be a very, very powerful unit. There is some debate over whether this unit has a higher ceiling, and she absolutely does. It is hard to do back of the envelope calculations on a unit like this. But I don't think she has the bulk of T. Veronica. So I think this is going to be... I'm not sure she reaches the heights of tier 0. But again, that is a possibility. I don't think she goes lower than tier 1 though. I think this is a very good unit and can do a lot of good for you. I think she is, because of the combination of skills, I think she's very, very unique. I utterly forgot the duo skill, and you guys keep on giving me a hard time when I do that. So let me real quickly, the duo skill, when you hit it, inflicts Frozen and Discord on foes within 5 rows, 5 columns, which is a huge range. And Frozen is exactly what this unit wants. So if you can imagine this unit equipped with Lin Ring and hitting the duo skill with Frozen and then smacking a unit, it is going to be interesting. The thing I worry about is does she only function when a special set of cases line up? I don't think that's the case, but there is the likelihood. So be on the lookout. Over like TLDR, this is a good unit. I think this is a unit that you are going to have a lot of fun with. I haven't quite grasped the ceiling of this unit yet though. Just be on the lookout for her. If you're interested in more, I have a link right here. Know that this Friday, I'll be doing a summoning session for Peony, and I will be in full Sami cosplay. So check that out. That was a member goal that I lost. That is coming. Members, you are amazing, even though you voted for that. Take care and schedule an appointment with your FEHologist real soon.